Tonight's article comes from The Independent, and the headline is James Webb Space Telescope Keeps Finding Galaxies That Shouldn't Exist, Scientist Warns. 6 of the earliest and most massive galaxies that NASA's Breakthrough Telescope has seen so far appear to be bigger and more mature than they should be. It was written by Andrew Griffin, and it was published 18 hours ago. The James Webb Space Telescope keeps finding galaxies that shouldn't exist, a scientist has warned. 6 of the earliest and most massive galaxies that NASA's Breakthrough Telescope has seen so far appear to be bigger and more mature than they should be, given where they are in the universe, researchers have warned. The new findings build on previous research where scientists reported that despite coming from the very beginnings of the universe, the galaxies were as mature as our own Milky Way. Now a new paper has appeared to confirm those findings by stress testing the galaxies to better understand how they formed. It suggests that if scientists have not made a mistake, we may be missing some fundamental information about the universe. If the masses are right, then we are in uncharted territory, said Mike Boylan-Colchin from the University of Texas at Austin, and the author of a new paper examining the unusual galaxies. Will require something very new about galaxy formation or a modification to cosmology. One of the most extreme possibilities is that the universe was expanding faster shortly after the Big Bang than we predict, which might require new forces and particles. Professor Boylan-Colchin's paper, Stress Testing ACDM with High Redshift Galaxy Candidates, has been published in Nature Astronomy this week. It suggests that the information from the JWST proposes a profound dilemma for scientists. The data indicates that there might be something wrong with the dark energy and cold dark matter paradigm, or ACDM, that has been guiding cosmology for decades. Usually, galaxies convert around 10% of their gas into stars, but the newly discovered galaxies would have to be converting almost the entirety of it into stars. That is theoretically possible, but it is a departure from what scientists would ever have expected. Further observation of the galaxies should better clarify their ages and masses. It might show that the observations are incorrect, that supermassive black holes at their center are heating the galaxies up, so they look more massive than they are, or that they are actually from a later time than expected, but look older because of imaging problems. But if they are confirmed, then astronomers may have to change their understanding of the cosmos and how galaxies grow, to adjust their model to account for the unusually large and mature galaxies. And that is the end of this article. Well, this one, I think it could be a lot of different things with this. The thing that most people need to understand, you look at a headline like this and it says galaxies that shouldn't exist, scientists warn. So the scientist is warning. So oh my God, they're warning us of something. It must be terrible. And these galaxies shouldn't exist. So they're brand new galaxies that we didn't know about that all of a sudden just appeared out of thin air. No, that's not what's going on. It's kind of a clickbaity, kind of get your attention type of headline. And basically all it says is that once again, scientists are kind of stumped by something they see. They're like, wait a minute, that shouldn't be the way that it is according to our educated guesses. And that's really all this is a bunch of educated guesses. I mean, these people are not dummies. They know what they're talking about. But the problem is when you're talking about the Big Bang and you're talking about trying to date galaxies all the way back that far, I mean, a lot of it is guesswork. I mean, if there's a lot of math involved, you're calculating their masses and the rate of expansion and all those kind of things. But what it really boils down to is a series of educated guesses. And if your educated guesses are right and the math works out, then you got a good theory until something comes along and disproves it. You know, I mean, Einstein, one of the most gifted and most brilliant scientists of our time, was stumped by things. You know, he was kind of stumped by the quantum entanglement thing. You know, he called it spooky science. He couldn't figure out how a particle here and a particle on the other end of the universe, how the state could change of those particles simultaneously together. If you do something to one particle and it changes in a certain way, the corresponding particle that is quantumly entangled to it changes in that same way, even though they're separated by just billions of light years. So he couldn't understand that at all, and he called it spooky science. And that led him to believe that there was something missing from his theories. And that got him on the search of the theory of everything, which scientists are still today trying to come up with that theory of everything. So there's a lot that we don't know, and there's a lot that we guess about. Now, granted, they are educated guesses. Like I said, it's not like these people are just pulling things out of a hat. You know, it's based on something, but the problem is there's too many educated guesses to ever be certain of anything. And that's what makes science, especially cosmology, so cool, is that you really don't know. You know, you're trying to learn these things, and you're trying to determine whether your theory is correct. And you base that on your observations, you base that on math, you know, and if the equations work out and what you're seeing through the telescope works out and it's all matching up, then you might have something, you know. But in this case, I think that they'll find that there's one of those little educated guesses that are wrong, maybe just off by a little, and it could throw everything off. And I think that's what you end up finding at the end, if they ever figure it out, is that it was just something that they got a little bit wrong. And once they adjust it, they'll understand it and we'll be better for it. That's my take on it. Let me know down in the comments section what you guys think. And as always, thank you for hanging out. And I will catch you on the next one. Till I speak to you again, love many, trust few, and do harm to none. God loves you, and so do I. Bye-bye.